For Fendon Brown, I have a total of 800,245.87
Okay. Teresa?
I have the construction company, and they came in at $796,858. Did you want to go ahead with my second one?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then I have Niblock at $818,278.35.
Okay.
Rowan.
No.
You got the easy ones?
Yeah, I did. They were marked out.
Okay. So for E&B paving, I have 855,484.16.
Okay, is that it? Then,
Yeah, I would make a motion that we table to allow us to take these under advisement.
okay. Got a motion to table for Brandon to take under advisement. We got a second discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Sounds like some decent bids, at least. Thank you, Brandon. Kim Erdley, is Kim here? Kim. Okay, we'll have the assessor's office bid opening for a cyclical reassessment. Yep, we have one bid.
Okay, we have one bid from Nexus Group, and the proposed fee is $129,250 annually, $502,000 over a 4-year project.
Just accept the bid.
Yeah, I'd move that we just accept the bid as presented.
Second.
Got a motion to accept the bid from Nexus as presented. We've got a second. Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you, Kim. And this is Kim Erdley. She's our county assessor.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kim.
Let's just go to Jana.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Kim.
Okay, we'll begin our regular meeting again. First thing we have on the agenda is our employee recognition, which is, we'll start with the first one, Mike Christie, 34 years. Great, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Toby McCoy. Toby's not here. John Barrett, 24 years. And by the way, Toby had 22 years. John Barrett has 24 years. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate all you do. Greg Wilkinson, 25 years All on the highway? Thank you, Greg. We appreciate it. Jeremy Heinen. And Sheriff Mark Gatton, 26 years. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate all that everybody does for the county, and it's amazing. That's a lot of years for as young as you all are. Okay. Next on the agenda is our attorney, Matt Shipman.
Good afternoon. There is a lot of stuff on the agenda, and a lot of it we've worked on over the last month. As you know, I won't comment on those, but everything that's on the agenda that was subject to me reviewing, I have reviewed it, and it all looks at this point acceptable for for you to take action on. The only other item is the real estate purchase agreement with Dratz, and Don is still here. Don has signed this. Just by way of memory is, we had started down this path of buying that property. It's been a while now, with the thought that we were going to do one thing with it that has pivoted a little bit. And ultimately, as a result, it's expedited the necessity to actually own it and take title to it. And so as a result, because of the tax consequences to Don, primarily, the price has gone from $300 to $350. It is still substantially under market for what that property is worth. And again, I'd reiterate, thank you to Don for his help with the county to make that possible. But for his generosity, we'd be paying a lot more for this property. So I do have his signature on this, and I would just ask at this point that the commissioners approve it, and then we can kind of begin the final due diligence and set a close date, hopefully. And I think I've already communicated to Tom Pugh. I just saw Tom earlier, but about kind of getting this ready for closing. So that's the extent of it, unless you guys have questions for me.
Commissioners?
We're really grateful, Don, for your willingness to sell. As I recall, when we had the appraisals, the property appraised for far more than what Don has generously offered it to us. I also know that council approved a purchase of $300,000. So I would like to make a motion that we accept the sale for $350,000 contingent on council's approval for the additional $50,000.
Okay, we got a motion then to approve the sale for the Armstrong property, subject to approval by the council, which would be tomorrow morning. We'll get council approval, hopefully.
Second.
We got a second?
Also, it's set up just for George's signature. So
Okay.
to the extent, amend the motion for.
I'll amend my motion to allow
Okay.
for George's signature.
Okay, we got an amended motion. Second, okay. Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll just, I guess, wait to hear from you pending, and then I'll get back to Don.
Okay. Should I wait until tomorrow to?
I would wait.
Yeah.
We don't get the cart in front of the horse. just in
Yeah,
case.
yeah. Again, thank you, Don. Next on the agenda, Julie Jensen-Kelley, Corporate Challenge. Again.
Good afternoon. I think that Jana put in your packets the proposed invoice from the YMCA for us to participate in the corporate challenge this year.
Yes.
It is a total of $500. Probably have participated at least, I think, 6 or 7 years at this point. So we would love to do that again and ask for the commissioners if they would consider paying for that entry fee.
Okay.
I'm glad that you guys participate, frankly. And I know you've brought some trophies in the past,
It's been a
so
couple of years.
I'm all for it. I'm in favor of it. I move that we approve the $500 fee for the corporate challenge.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for all the different departments to get together you guys have done a great job. Now, we've got a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Take it easy on the judges too.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Next on the agenda, we have Jana Schinbeckler, our county auditor for the ARPA ordinance.
Okay, so this is the American Rescue Plan Act. We're getting that 6.5 million from federal funds for that. We'll get half of it this year, half of it next year. This is the ordinance that I got from a few other counties, just a sample ordinance saying that what we can do with it, this is to allow me to establish the fund. As you can see, it's Fund 8904, and it's also to say that you will create a plan because we commissioners are required to adopt a plan for these funds before we can use them. And then along with the ordinance, someone also needs to register with the Treasury in order to receive the funds before we receive them. So some auditors are doing it in other counties. There are commissioners that are doing it. And I feel that since the auditor's position is term limited and, commissioners are not, that probably it'd be best if the commissioner registered to receive those funds. If you guys want to decide who would be best to do that. But they are very particular. They're trying to cut down on fraud. So you have to scan your face with an app that they send you with your phone. It is very, very interesting. So I've never had to do that before. So.
Well, since I'm term limited here.
I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
Okay.
So Commissioner Green will be our representative for the RPA.
And then also the ordinance, I don't know if, Matt, you got a chance to look over it?
I did look at it this morning, yeah.
Okay.
It appears fine to me. I mean, there's not much to it. It just,
Yeah.
Establishing.
yep, exactly. I think it's step one and, actually coming up with a plan will be that much harder.
Yeah.
The hardest part probably.
The ordinance number is
2021-06.
Commissioners, what's your thought?
I'll move that we approve ordinance 06.
Okay, we got a motion to approve ordinance number 2021-06, an ordinance establishing the ARP Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Grant Fund. We've got a second discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Teresa, if you're just okay with getting it with me sometime this week, I'll get on the website and help you with it. So.
Okay, yes. thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have Nathan Bilger, our Planning and Building Director, on the Planning Next Contract Addendum.
Thank you. This is an addendum to the contract for Planning Next, the plan update consultant. Back when we approved the original contract, the scope of work ended at the preparation of the final draft document. They still have to provide additional native files, but that's basically where their labor ended. Didn't know at the time whether there would be any need for their presentation to the Plan Commission and possibly to the commissioners. At this point, it seems to be necessary. So this is an addendum to cover the extra time and possible materials, mostly time, involved in making presentation to the Plan Commission and commissioners if need be. The amount is a blank, not to exceed. I suggest $3,500. as a not to exceed. The estimated amount for time to present to the Plan Commission is about 1,000 to 1,200, depending on exactly how much it is. So 3,500 would allow for a lot of overruns if there are continuances or additional time necessary. But I leave that up to you.
Any thoughts, commissioners?
So I'm assuming that that is for, they're going to be attending the planning Thursday to be there to answer questions and.
Correct. She's going to be attending virtually. Otherwise, the amount would have doubled to actually be here in person. It would have
3,500 would have doubled to 7,000.
1,000 would double to 2,000 to be here in person.
What are they charging us an hour? That's an awful lot. So I'd rather her be in person at a meeting like that.
Right. It would be mostly the travel time. It's about 2.5 hours each way to attend in person.
Must be $200 an hour then, probably.
Yeah,
5 times 2.
$200 an hour for travel. That seems super high.
So most professionals start billing you, i.e. lawyers, the moment you leave the office until you get back. Lawyers are the same way.
Okay, so it's an extra $1,000.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think that we need to spend the extra $1,000 and have her there. That's, we're expecting a lot of turnout for that. And you lose is in person, and we're gonna need her there to answer a lot of the technical questions that the public's gonna have. So I would really like to see her in person. If I had a choice, it would have to have her there in person for a meeting
Sure.
that important.
I am indifferent. I understand the desire to have her there in person. And I appreciate that. That obviously increases our not to exceed amount. So what would be your recommendation, assuming she's available to travel?
Well, that would be roughly 2,000 of what I suggested of the 3,500, which would still leave 1,500 for either virtual or, well, basically one more virtual meeting, be it the Plan Commission or commissioners. Otherwise, increase it somewhat.
Okay, so with all of the work and the money that we paid them up to this point, this meeting's extremely important. Someone needs to be there from their company. I really think that's vital. So I'll move that we approve the planning next addendum for $4,500. So we can have them available in person for the Plan Commission meeting to present the comprehensive plan formally to the public and to the Plan Commission.
Okay, we got a motion from Commissioner Green for the contract amendment to be $4,500 maximum. And that we would make sure that someone from planning next would be here for the planning meeting.
Where do the funds come from?
That's been seeded funds.
Seated?
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a second. Further discussion?
It only requires one signature. too.
Oh, and it's requiring one signature for the chairman to sign also.
I'll amend my motion for
Okay.
the chairman to sign.
I accept.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
And just for everyone's benefit in the audience and online, the Plan Commission public hearing on the comp plan is 7 o'clock Thursday evening. That is a special Plan Commission meeting. The only item on the agenda is the comp plan public hearing. And that's in the basement of this building, normal place for Plan Commission meetings.
Thank you, Nathan. I know you worked very, very hard on this comprehensive.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. Jen Schinbeckler. Jen, do you want to talk about the comp time exception to policy to the voter registration for election? Sure. So we have our county clerk, And
What I presented to Jen about a month ago is as I was doing my budget and I was trying to figure out, in the past, the election office would just get comp time. But we have an issue with, we have people in our office with longevity. So since they have to use their comp time by the end of December, then a lot of the other girls that have been there, 25 plus years don't get to take vacation in December because of that issue. So at one time I talked to Jen and I decided to raise my budget so we could just pay them. But, if we can solve that without having to raise the budget, pay them out of, taxpayers' money, they're happy getting comp time. So anyway, Jen has suggested that maybe we extend the comp time. So what they came up with was to make sure all the comp time is used the following year by March 31st. I believe that's what the date. So
so is this only for election years?
it's
Okay.
just election years.
Okay.
Because they do accumulate, both girls accumulate anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks per election. So that's like 5 to 6 weeks a year. So
Okay.
we really, would like to get that extended so we could be fair to some of the other girls in the office when it comes to vacations.
Okay.
So it would really be 2 exceptions to the policy because we only allow for up to 40 hours of comp time to be earned.
Right.
So it would not only be an exception to that rule, but it would also be an exception to the rule where staff have to use it by December 1st. To extend that to, I just suggested March 31st, but it could be whatever you guys think is best.
And can you think of-
Yes, yes,
How do we get it all?
yes, I do. I do.
I move that we accept the request as presented.
Okay, we got a motion to accept the request from Cindy Doolittle as presented.
I just want to clarify, this is just, at this time, it's just approving for the clerk's office, right? We're not
Right.
opening this up to every
Right.
department.
Because of the fact of,
If I could
The
do it
election.
another way,
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, and the reason that I asked is I understand that your department has a very unique situation where this wouldn't really apply to other departments. And that's why I want to be specific and clear that we're not opening it up to all departments. It's
Right.
just elections has a unique circumstance. So with that being said, I'll second the motion.
okay, we've got a motion, we've got a second. Discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. Jen, I don't know if you want to stick around for the IN.gov user account agreement update.
It's my understanding that we currently have an account, but it's been dormant for several years. So I'm requesting that we reinstitute that agreement. And what that would allow us to do would be to not only do background checks, but it would also allow us to do the motor vehicle records checks that at times we need to be doing. So it's $95 would be the annual fee. And then there's an agreement that needs to be signed. And then there's an additional fee then every time you run a check. And I believe you have that information as well.
Right.
So that would be dependent on how many checks we do, obviously. But I believe it's $14 for a criminal background check and
Which is a great
$7
deal.
or $8 for motor vehicle check.
Yeah, saves us a lot of money that way. Plus, our insurance company is asking that we do background checks now.
I don't think anybody's here from the EDC, but that we use this program all the time.
Mhm.
And I could see the potential that the EDC for their revolving loan funds could use it potentially to screen. And it looks like you have up to 10 maybe just a suggestion, and maybe ask Dale or adding Bev or somebody, if it's not going to cost any more to use it, that they probably could benefit from it as well. Because there are things I do now for them that they could do if they had access potentially to the accounts and things as part of some of the just background check they do on people that come in the door and things.
Sure,
Do we table this until?
we can, there's.
It's
not
just a matter
urgent.
of adding another username.
Right.
Honestly, the agreement is for 10. I'm just suggesting maybe talk to them and see if they would use it and add them as an additional user. It doesn't impact the cost or the contract.
Okay.
I don't have that information in my packet. Can I see it?
And I did list, I believe I listed all 3 of you as users, and Jana and Tiffany and myself and Cammy. But we can amend that as needed too. Let's write it down.
I'd be in favor of tabling, just to explore this a little further.
Sure.
Okay.
I can make that in the form of a motion if you'd like.
If you would, please.
So I move that we table the Indiana.gov user account agreement.
We've got a motion to a table. We've got a second. Discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. And we'll discuss this the 1st of July then. Okay, we've got a resolution that we'd like to read that the commissioners are backing. The first one we have is a constitutional sanctuary resolution. And I think Chad's got that. He'd like to read this.
Yeah, and before I do, Jana, will there be a resolution number for this?
2021-05 would be the next one.
So as written, this is a Second Amendment Freedom Resolution. And it reads, whereas the Board of Commissioners of Woodley County, Indiana is the executive body of the county government and legislative body of county government. Whereas the Constitution of the United States of America is the supreme law of the United States of America, and the Constitution of the state of Indiana is the supreme law of the state of Indiana. Whereas the Second Amendment of the Constitution states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whereas Article 1, Section 32 of the Indiana Constitution states the people shall have a right to bear arms for the defense of themselves and the state. Whereas the county will steadfastly and proactively support and defend the U.S. Constitution and the Indiana Constitution, including but not limited to the Second Amendment and Article 1, Section 32. Now, therefore, the following is hereby resolved by the board. The county shall not comply with, assist, or use any personnel or financial resources to enforce, administer, or cooperate with any law that violates the Second Amendment or Article 1, Section 32. Any law that eliminates, reduces, represses, diminishes, or subverts the rights of law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms, ammunition, magazines, parts, or accessories of arms in any amount, size, form, capacity, or function that is legal as of January 1st, 2021, shall be presumed to be a violation of the Second Amendment and Article 1, Section 32, unless and until such times as it is rightfully and legally determined without further right of appeal to be otherwise by the Indiana Appellate Court, Indiana Supreme Court, the U.S. 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, or the Supreme Court of the United States. So passed and adopted by the Board of Commissioners of Woodley County, Indiana, this 7th day of June, 2021.
Okay, and again, this is resolution number 2021-05.
And I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 2021-05.
Second.
Got a motion to approve 2021-05, which is a second amendment freedom resolution. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. And then next we have a resolution in support of human life. And I think Teresa, Commissioner Green will read that for us.
What's that resolution number? Is it -6, I'm assuming? Whereas life is the first of third right in the Declaration of Independence, which our founders affirmed, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas the Woodley County Commissioners believe the protection of all human life is important to the people of Woodley County. Whereas the Woodley County Commissioners believe every human life is unique and precious to God and humankind. And whereas the Woodley County Commissioners believe human life begins at the moment of conception and continues uninterrupted until the moment of natural death. And whereas the Woodley County Commissioners believe human lives must be protected and preserved. Now, therefore, be it resolved and declared by the County Commissioners as the governing body of Woodley County, Indiana, that human life, including the unborn, must always be valued and protected, and that society must protect those who cannot protect themselves. It further resolved that the County Commissioners encourage assisting pregnant women find health care and sources for other needs, helping mothers and fathers who make the decision to parent their child find assistance if needed, supporting mothers and fathers who make an adoption plan for their child and couples who seek to adopt, encouraging businesses and schools to provide appropriate accommodations for pregnant women and mothers. It further resolved that the County Commissioners encourage our state and federal government use every legal means to protect and fight for human life, including the lives of unborn boys and girls. Adopted by the Board of County Commissioners, Woodley County, Indiana, on the 7th day of June, 2021, and attested to by the signatures of George Trump, Chad Banks, and Teresa Green.
Thank you.
And I'll move that we pass resolution 2021-06.
Okay, we got a motion to approve 2021, resolution number 2021-06, which is a resolution in support of human life.
And I'll just add, it's great to see pro-life champions like Linda Zimmerman and Kathy Humbarger here with us today. It's my honor to second that motion.
Okay, we got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Thank you. Long overdue. Next, we have a memorandum of understanding for the next level. Next level is a project that the commissioners are involved with community corrections, Community Foundation. It involves a grant from the Lilly Corporation for over $2.5 million. And it's working within the county to make sure that we're working with not only our jail, our community corrections program, making sure that the people, as they move through our programs, that they're taken care of. And we're working with Mission 25 at the end, so that if someone comes out of jail, if they come out of our work release program, we want to make sure that they've got some place to live and that they've got programs to deal with their issues that they've got. So it's really what this memo of understanding is for is the county is looking at building a new jail eventually. And then at that point, what we'd be doing is we'll move work release into our old jail. We'll modify that jail out so that we're using that facility. It's a great use for the facility. And then the old hotel that we've got, we would turn that over or sell that to Mission 25. And it would be a great for their programming. It'll be a lot of more beds for them to be able to serve the people of the community. It's really a great program. So what we want to do is we just want to affirm our commitment to the next level. And it's just a memo of understanding that we're doing right now for this. So commissioners, any questions,
I've had a lot of time to review. I know there's been a lot of work and a lot of effort put into this, and I'm fully supportive of it. I don't have any further questions or anything. Do you? I move that we would accept the memorandum of understanding.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion to approve the memo of understanding with the Next Level Woodley County Partners. We've got a second. Further discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. I think this is a great opportunity for the community to be able to help all those that are in need. Next, we have SRI Master Services Agreement. Jana, are you? They haven't got that ready yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is just our normal agreement for our tax sale that's normally in October.
Right.
So did you review this, Matt?
I did.
Look okay?
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
like the same one as every year.
Yeah.
So
So,
SRI has obviously been a great partner over the years and make this really pretty seamless, and at least as far as I can tell, it seems pretty easy from this perspective because they're very effective at it.
and then I think,
Or two or three of them.
yep, two for you to sign, and then the treasurer and I think, sign this one. So as long as you guys approve the agreement, I think we can sign this. This is just the work plan for us to sign.
So we're not approving the funds, this is just the work plan, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the agreement, and I don't know if it has the amount of the funds, but the treasurer normally, I believe. Yes.
There's a work plan, then the actual contract is in there, as well as the addendum. There's kind of three separate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do we have to approve just the agreement and the addendum, or do we approve?
The tax sale plan, the first two page, at least as I have it, the tax sale work plan is just signed by the auditor and the treasurer.
Okay,
The actual contract is signed by the three commissioners. So, and then the tax sale support service addendum is signed by the three commissioners as well as the auditor and treasurer.
okay.
So it says it's $100 per parcel, was that, I'm just curious if that was last year as well.
I think so. And it's, again, those fees are wrapped into the sale. And so either the purchaser and or the redeemer pays those.
Okay,
So that's the beautiful part of it, is it's not even $100 really. That is correct, right, Jana? That's what I'm understanding.
So we've got two different agreements here. One is an agreement with SRI, and then the other one is this tax sale support addendum.
I'll move that we approve the SRI Master Services Agreement.
You've got a motion to approve the master services agreement for SRI.
Second.
Got a second? Discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
The second document that needs approval is that the tax sale work plan.
Yes.
I move that we approve the tax sale work.
No, the next one would be the tax sale support services addendum.
Yeah, as I understand, the work plan is really, I mean, it probably makes sense, I guess, from the auditor and treasurer, just to know that you guys support the work plan, but ultimately it's up for their signature.
Okay.
The tax sale support services addendum, it's a mouthful, is actually for you guys to approve.
So I don't see that. I don't know that I have that in my packet.
This is what I have.
The last 3 pages, at least in, yeah, it's the last 3 pages on my file.
All right, I'd make a motion that we approve the tax sale support services addendum.
Second.
Got a motion to approve the tax sales support services addendum for SRI. We have a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
If I may. Teresa, I'm glad you asked me. I did look it up and the tax sale does come out of the commissioner's budget, consultant engineering, since it is a countywide, it's countywide tax sale. So it has came out of there like for as long as I can see, actually. I was thinking about postage and stuff, but that's,
So the $100 parcel we comes out of our budget.
well,
So
just so for last year, it was probably a total of about, I would say $5,000 that came out of commissioner budget total for that.
Does that get reimbursed?
But I know that there's like a tax sale demand fee. I don't, you'd have to ask the treasurer on that, but I know we do get that back as settlement. So that may be part of what we do get back. So.
Do we affirm our support on this work
I don't
plan?
think it's necessary,
Okay.
necessarily necessary.
Okay.
I don't think we've traditionally haven't done that with work plan.
Yeah.
I don't even think we normally see the work. As long as you and Tim are.
Next on our agenda, we have Brandon Forrester for our Highway Department update.
So most of what I have today is involving IN.gov programs, federal aid projects, community crossings. We had received an award for an ADA compliance project, federal aid project. And the RFP, the request for proposals for design, has been submitted. But it was requested to be posted on their website end of May and hasn't made it yet, but the RFP has been sent and got someone checking on where that is, why it hasn't been posted. A bridge inspection is also a federal aid program, and myself, Chad, and Kevin Alexander have completed our scoring for that, and I've just got one more hoop to jump through with IN.gov. We have to have someone from IN.gov confirm that the bridges in the RFP are consistent with the bridges in the BIAS database, which is the bridge inspection application system. And then I can submit that, and we'll work towards a contract, interlocal contract, and consultant contract. As far as community crossings, the community crossings contract with IN.gov has been fully executed, and that's for the bids that we took today. Jana has a copy of that for your records. And so the next steps on that would be to award the contractor, of course, hopefully at the next meeting. And then I would request funds through IN.gov. They would put the money in our account, and then we would pay the contractor when, of course, when work is complete. One once that's done, then we'll give the contractor notice to proceed. Also have working towards another community crossings project, which is County Road 800 East at the railroad tracks next to SDI. And so I have requested a proposal from Engineering Resources to do some final design, give us quantities, work on permitting, railroad, environmental permitting, those things. So we do have a proposal that's, it's appears to be their standard proposal that we've seen multiple times in the past. It does allow for one signature if you would choose. It says Woodley County Highway Department. So we'll have a commissioner sign that. If you have any questions about that project or this proposal.
It's a great project.
I think it's needed.
Yeah, anyone who's driven that knows that it's like this to get across. And the plan is to raise that on both sides. It's not going to be a flat, straight grade. I utilized an summer intern from high school and showed him how to the process for designing a vertical curve, just for comparison to his vertical curves that he developed. There'll be about 3 foot of fill on either side, and they'll transition into another curve. Now that'll be finalized in an actual design, but I just looked at just straight line grades, and it would have taken 7 to 8 foot of fill to do that. So we'll see what happens when it's done, but it will be better. That's our goal, is to make things better.
And I'm surprised there weren't more accidents on that going across that railroad track, because you really can't see, and it's not a good area right there.
So once the approach is more gradual, is there any thought about still restricting SDI truck traffic on 800?
SDI has verbally agreed to help partner with some material for this project, and they don't want their trucks going that way.
Okay.
Another project that we've talked about partnering with SDI is to actually extend the turn lane for southbound coming off of 30 to get to their third entrance. And when I met with some of their folks on site, we talked about incorporating into that design, physical barriers to keep trucks from, or to try and help keep trucks from turning right. So yeah, that talk is in the works. And in fact, they were, SDI didn't want us to flatten it out too much to make it too easy for trucks, like low boys and low riding trailers to go over there. So we don't want to encourage trucks.
Yep. So this is, just for my clarification, this is a proposal.
It is a proposal for design and permitting services. Yes, professional services.
And as I recall, ERI has been along with us all along on this.
Yes, yes.
Well, I would move that we accept the proposal, and that we would have President of the Board of Commissioners sign, being George Schrumpf.
Okay, we got a motion. I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay,
I
second.
apologize.
I've got a motion to approve the proposal, signing of the proposal for design services with ERI, with the chair to sign for the commissioners. Got a second? Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Okay, if you would please pass that down.
Yep.
Regarding that project, I have gone back through time and found several examples of interlocal agreements with Allen County. Allen County has also agreed to partner with this project. So I guess with your permission for me and direction for Matt, I'd share those interlocals with Matt so that we can come up with something to kind of put them formally in the project.
I'll make a motion to allow you to move forward with the interlocal agreement with Allen County.
Second.
We got a motion to approve going forward on interlocal with Allen County. We've got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
The last thing involving IN.gov, as anyone who lives, not everyone, but a lot of people that live north of town know, State Road 9 is closed. We've received some complaints at the office. Those complaints have been moved to IN.gov, and if you remember, we did an agreement with IN.gov, it's been a while back, to establish an unofficial detour, that being County Road 300 North and Airport Road. And we specifically wanted to keep especially non-local traffic off of 250 North, which was a narrow gravel road called Roller Coaster Road. And so I just, for your understanding and anyone from the public that's listening, I worked with IN.gov. 300 North is, the unofficial. There've been requests, at least one, to have no trucks at 300 North, and that defeats the whole purpose. And I mean, for one, once they get there, there's nowhere else to go unless they're going to do a U-turn in the middle of State Road 9. I did find the contractors, this was the proposed construction schedule before construction began. It appears to me, without, solid confirmation, I don't know where they are with regard to their schedule and weather delays, but it appears that about the middle of next week, they may be done with the north structure and move to the south structure, which is a different unofficial detour, which is Cider Mill and 150 East. So the road's still going to be closed. And again, the approximate completion is June 25th. So, I mean, it's construction season. If you leave your house, there's a good chance you're inconvenienced by construction. And I'm sure those people on 300 North are, not liking the extra traffic. We're all sorry. That's, it's just a nature of the beast. So I just wanted to let you know we're getting complaints in case you got any complaints, and kind of what my position, and I believe IN.gov's position also is that give it time, the problem will go away. It'll be better when they're done.
Well, Brandon, isn't there another project that they're going to be working on right after that? though?
Yeah, that's the one. It's between Cider Mill and 150 East. It's a smaller structure, culvert, that is also being replaced. They can't have complete road closures for both of them at the same time. Now, according to the schedule, they might be doing some asphalt work on the north structure later on, but I'm assuming they're going to have at least opened up to traffic. I don't attend their weekly meetings, but just looking at the schedule, that's the way it appears to me.
I thought they were going to work on that area that keeps sinking. They keep adding asphalt to.
Yeah, that's where they're at right now.
Is that where they're at now?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Oh, that's a different, are you talking about the one in the big dip?
Yeah.
That's north of that. There's an area they've replaced like 3 times and it keeps sinking across from like the Heinen farm there.
Yeah.
They keep trying to fix it and then it sinks again. And anyway,
It sinks
it's a
after.
different- It's a different area.
Oh.
All of us who live north are.
See, I thought it was that area.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought it was too.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, they're north another.
yeah, that structure was replaced a few years ago.
Yeah, and it's already bad
Yeah.
again.
It's muck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the issue is it needs a big.
Peat, muck,
concrete.
marl, those types of soils, they move. once they start moving, it's very difficult to get them to stop moving. Expensive. You can do it. It's expensive.
Don't they use a plastic pad or something underneath it to?
Oh, there's numerous solutions. State Road 109 north of Whitley County, they actually use styrofoam blocks and built the road on top of it. US 30, back when they rubblized US 30, east of 205, there was an area on the shoulder that was settling badly, and they just took wood posts and just, I mean, they didn't have to have pile driving. They just pushed them down into the muck, and they had spaces in between them. I thought, well, that's never going to work. And it has. I mean, that was years ago. So cheap piling is an expensive solution. Excavation is an expensive solution. My first IN.gov job was the IU pond on US 33, and we were excavating 35-foot deep of peat, $600,000 change order, so they'll keep filling in with asphalt. That's the cheap solution for, short
They've done
term.
that.
Yeah.
And so then finally, I'm going to the council tomorrow. I know I've at least talked to a couple of you individually about equipment purchase. We want to buy 2 trucks at the same time. And so I'm going to go to council tomorrow to ask for a verbal commitment to the 2022 budget for equipment. So. Other than that, that's all I have.
That's good.
Thank you, Brandon. Next on the agenda, we have a facilities request. And it's from Manfall and Sharon Geiger, which is for the Mercantile and Ann and Sharon for raising funds to be donated to the forklift. They want to use the government alley out here in the parking area. Be July 31st from 8 till 4. Approximately 30 booths in that area. Yes. But they are requesting our parking lot area, but it'll be on a Saturday.
I have no issues with it.
I'd be fine with it as well. I move that we approve it.
Okay, we got a motion to approve.
Second?
A second. Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. We'll have that later. Had the wrong names. Okay, payroll and accounts payable claims approval. We did look at the payroll and claims this morning. Everything looked fine. Again, the auditor's office and Tiffany, they do a great job up there, and we want to thank them for making it easy. But everything looked good, and everyone should be happy because they got their disbursements. All the different
Yes.
the libraries, the county, or the cities, townships.
I move that we approve payroll and claims.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve payroll and claims.
Second?
Got a second discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Okay, next on our agenda is the previous meeting minutes approval. And that would have been for our May 17th, 2021 meeting.
I'll move that we approve.
Got a motion to approve?
Second.
Got a second? Discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. I'll abstain. Okay, one thing that I have here is for the Woodley County Community Corrections Advisory Board, we need approval of a change. Patty Cook has resigned, and Judge Rinsler is going to serve as vice chair and nominated Sharon Persons to replace Patty on the advisory board. And then along with this is an updated membership list for our approval.
I'll move that we appoint Sharon Persons to the Woodley County Community Corrections Board.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve Sharon Persons and the revised membership list. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. You do that. Okay.
I didn't get your signature.
Matt, did you have anything?
I can't think of anything else now.
Jana?
Again, I will reiterate that we already have settlement done, which is pretty exciting because normally it's not done till mid to end of June. So good job to my office, and I thank our new software vendor. They're awesome for the tax software, and also the treasurer's office. She did an awesome job with all new staff, new software. So I appreciate all of her help and everything through the process. So
Good.
pretty exciting. And the only other thing is I did hand you guys your budget books. So I will be giving council theirs tomorrow. So it has started. So thanks.
Commissioner?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Commissioner?
I do not.
I don't think I've got anything further than that. Public, do we have anything from the public? Glad to see you back, Stan. Okay, we'll adjourn at this time then. Thank you, everyone.